Donnie and Dolly. The team is supported by ableauctions.ca. Closing your business? We can help.
Friday, and all of our guests today, including John Shannon, standing by. Brought to you by our title sponsor, Able Auctions, ableauctions.ca. They've got that big multi-product auction on July 6th. Joined now by NHL Analyst, co-host of the Bob McCowan podcast. There's no auctioning him off. John Shannon. How you doing, sir?
I'm great. Happy Friday.
Yeah, same to you. It's just been so busy around here, John. So many moves by the Canucks, the latest of which, not including Quinn Hughes winning a Norris Trophy yesterday, Tyler Myers' 3-year contract extension. You've got Dakota Joshua and Lafferty and McKayev, and the list goes on and on. What's the reputation of Canucks management, Rutherford and Alvin, around the National Hockey League right now, from what you know?
Oh, I think it's nothing but complete respect, and they know, they being the rest of the National Hockey League, the other 31 teams, know that Jim Rutherford and Patrick Alvin, who basically are one, are not afraid to make moves and understand what it's like to be a manager at a time when you have some key players in the prime of their existence. When you think of Pettersson and Miller and Besser and Hughes. You know, this is one of those ones where Jim Rutherford's reputation in Carolina and in Pittsburgh is going to assist the Canucks in doing what they need to do. They are not afraid to pick up the phone. They are not afraid to take calls.
Do you think they're afraid of spending big money on Jake Guentzel, who we understand is on the verge of extending with Carolina?
Well, first of all, they can't talk to Guentzel officially until Monday,
yeah.
right?
Yep.
So the answer is that this is Carolina's prime time to get the deal done. And with all the stories about Guentzel and all the cities that Guentzel was either going back to Pittsburgh or going to Vancouver or some other place, going to Minnesota where he's from, Guentzel's clan did a pretty good job in order to try to parlay this into a new deal. And let's face it, Eric Tulsky, Rod Brindamore, Tom Dundon, they may have controlled the cards, but there was enough rumors out there that they had to be afraid of them.
Hey, John, the Stanley Cup final ratings, excellent on both sides of the border. You can say combined, I think they were at 15 million. Very high number. It's been a long time since they got that number on both sides of the border. What contributed to that for you in your eyes?
Well, it didn't start that way, Rick. It was around 3 million per game in games 1 and 2, and 4 million in the United States. So by the time game 3 started, the number actually doubled to game 7. Game 7s are always magical. Yeah. If the three of us can sit back and the 4 game 7s now that really have been the dynamic ratings leaders for the National Hockey League. Strangely enough, all included Canadian teams. When you go back to 2004 with Calgary against Tampa, when you go back to 2011 with the Canucks and the Bruins, and you go back to 1994 with the Rangers and the Canucks. So this should be no surprise. But I can tell you the networks, both of them, ESPN and Rogers, and the commissioner are just rubbing their hands together of what this could mean. This was the Stanley Cup final that I think that Rogers envisioned was going to happen at least 5 times in the 10 years they've owned the contract. Because if it wasn't going to be Edmonton, maybe it was Vancouver early on, maybe it was supposed to be the Maple Leafs. And these numbers could even be beaten next year if one of those teams, particularly Vancouver, Edmonton, and Toronto, get back to the Stanley Cup final.
John, the awards night last night, it was very tough to watch Kucherov being interviewed there. They were trying to be funny. What's your take on the awards night? Do they try to be too funny at times? It almost looks like a comedy show to me at times.
Here's the deal. And I think I've probably used it on this show and many other shows. Being funny is really hard in our business.
Yeah.
It is difficult. And my line usually is, if you are going to be that funny, you should be in Vegas. Well, they were in Vegas last night, and it wasn't funny.
Yeah.
I wish we could go to something that was more respectful for the players, more understanding of the players.
Yeah.
You know, don't think that, you know, Nikita Kucherov, who I know ticked a few people off at the way he acted at All-Star here in Toronto, but he didn't deserve that. He, you know, and everybody says, well, he should relax. You know what? I don't buy it. I think it's an award show. We're trying to show respect for the great athletes we have and honor them for winning awards. Making fun of people, I don't know about you, but I just don't think it. I felt really uncomfortable for 3 hours last night.
Yes.
3 hours last night. The first hour was the awards, and the second 2 hours were the debate. And that's all I'm going to say. So it was a very uncomfortable night in my office in Toronto watching television last night.
Talk about tremendous ratings, the debate. Hey, John, why can't, this is off the subject a bit here, but it involves an ex-Canuck. Why can't Alex Mogilny get into the Hall of Fame?
I have no idea. I think you saw my tweet last week. I was disappointed too. I have been on the Mogilny bandwagon for a long time. The one thing I can tell you guys is, and the excuse always is, well, we don't know whether he was nominated or not. I did a little digging. He was nominated and didn't get enough votes. 14 of the 18 votes did not get enough. I do not understand it. I think that what we need to do at this point, in my opinion, now is create an open market, more transparency in the Hockey Hall of Fame system so that we, the people who support the game, and I'm talking about fans and media and sponsors, understand how we can pay the proper attention to the greatest players in the game. I would, you know, Jeremy Roenick, we can argue all we want whether he's a Hall of Famer. But I'm not going to, the three guys that got in, fine. I understand that. But there was room for one more. They're allowed to bring 4 players in this year. Please, Alexander Mogilny deserves to be in the Hockey Hall of Fame.
Yeah. And quickly, John, like you, he's from the BC interior. Where's Ken Holland headed?
I think he's headed to Okanagan Lake. I think he's probably going to enjoy. I think he's going to enjoy the summer.
Yeah, no kidding.
I do believe that if Kenny wants to work, he's in no hurry. You know this, Donnie. You've seen this a million times. 6 months from now, 2 months from now, 5 weeks from now, there's going to be an owner that says, "Boy, we need a really experienced voice." He shouldn't have to rush into anything. And if Kenny wants to work, I expect he will. And I think we're going to start hearing about Ken Holland going certain places a lot sooner than later. But when you're 68 years old, and I can speak from experience, when you're 68 years old, you do it on your timetable, not on the timetable of other people.
Yeah, I hear golf's pretty good at Predator Ridge this time of year. I'm sure Kenny is aware of that.
Mention Predator Ridge, try to get a free round, eh?
Oh, yes.
See? It's as though John's been in broadcasting for a long time.
Well, I always go to Predator Ridge and Fairview Mountain. So
Very good. Very good. You one-upped me there. Very impressive.
Nice.
Listen, between Dick Zokel and Brian McDonald, we should be able to get some free golf out of this.
I agree.
Absolutely. Fairview's incredible. So is Predator. John, thanks for this. Oh, sorry.
Everything always breaks towards the valley at Fairview. Always breaks toward the valley.
Okay, I'll remember that next time I shoot a 120 up there. Do you have John? Do we have John next? Do we have John next week? We do.
Yeah,
okay. One more hit with you. Okay.
I am going to be. We're going to do it from one of my favorite events, the Danny Gallivan Cystic Fibrosis Golf Tournament in Halifax, as we have done for the last 2 or 3 years. It's going to be great, and I might even drag a couple of those celebrities on with me when we're on. So.
Oh, wow! Do you want to mention the golf course there, John? Make sure you get a free round.
Royal Ashburn, and right downtown Halifax. It's a fantastic golf course. It's a Stanley Thompson, you know. So
one of these days. Thanks, John. We'll see you next week.
Happy Canada Day.
You bet.